Hello everyone, I am Leela Prabhugaonkar and today we'll start with the economics part of class 11th, that is rural development. Okay, so in this chapter we'll be learning about, we'll understand the major issues which are associated with this rural development, and we'll also learn why is it important, why the development of rural areas is important. Then we'll be learning about the critical role of credit and marketing systems in rural development. Also, we'll learn about the importance of diversification of productive activities to sustain livelihoods. We'll also understand the significance of organic farming in sustainable development. Okay, so only the tillers of the soil live by the right, the rest form their train and eat only the bread of dependence. Okay, this is said by Thiruvalluvar. So in this chapter we'll be learning major part with regards to the rural development, how rural in the sense the village areas, and with regards to and the development with regards to it. So previously we have studied how the poverty was the major challenge in India. So we also know that the majority of the poor people, they live in rural areas, right? Because they do not have any access to the proper basic necessities. They do not get, like the proper food, education, okay, then healthcare facilities. They do not get. So and the rural people, they basically they depend on agriculture. So agriculture is the major source of livelihood. Then Mahatma Gandhi once said that the real progress of India did not mean simply the growth and expansion of industrial urban centers, but mainly the development of the villages. This idea of village development being at the center of the overall development of the nation is relevant even today. So rural development, we can see if when we see around us, like we can see the towns like it's a fast, it can turn into city anytime, right? So and in cities we get large number of industries. Then all the urbanization part we can see in urban areas. So it is because more than two-thirds of India's population, they depend on agriculture that is yet to become productive enough to provide for them. So one-fourth of rural India still lives in abject poverty. So that is the reason why we have to see a developed rural India if our nation has to realize real progress. So rural development in the sense it basically focuses on action for the development of areas that are lagging behind in the overall development. So some of the areas which are challenging and they need a fresh initiative for development in rural India. This includes literacy, like the proper education, health addressing both sanitation and public health, land reforms, then development of the productive resource of each locality, infrastructure development like electricity, irrigation, credit, marketing, transport facilities, including construction of village roads, feeder roads to nearby highways. Then these are some of the things. Then special measures for elevation of poverty and bringing about significant improvement in the living conditions of the weaker sections of the population, emphasize access to productive employment opportunity. So this means that people they engage in farm and the non-farm activities in rural areas have to be provided with various means that help them increase the productivity. Okay, so they also need to be given opportunities to diversify into various non-farm productive activities such as food processing, enabling them better and more affordable access to healthcare, sanitation facilities at the workplace, and homes and education for all will also need to be given top priority. Then in the earlier chapter, we have seen that agriculture sector's contribution to GDP was on decline. The population dependent on this sector, they did not show any significant change. Further, after the initiation of reforms, the growth rate of agriculture sector decelerated to about 3% per annum during 1991 to 2012, which was lower than the earlier years. So in recent years, this sector has become volatile. Okay, so even the GVA growth rate of agriculture and its allied sector, this was less than 1%. So most of the economics, they identified this decline in public investment since 1991 as the major reason for this. So they also agree that inadequate infrastructure, lack of alternate employment opportunities in the industry or service sector, increasing casualization of employment. So this affected the rural development. Okay, so the next part what we'll be learning about is credit and marketing in rural areas. So credit, growth of rural economy depends primarily on infusion of capital from time to time to realize higher productivity in agriculture and non-agriculture sectors. So as a time of gestation period between crop sowing and realization of income after production is quite long, farmers borrow from various sources to meet their initial investment on seed, fertilizer, implements and other family expenses of marriage, death, religious ceremonies, etc. So at the time of independence, like if any farmers they want to take a loan, then they used to go to the money lenders. Okay, so what they used to do is money lenders and the traders, they used to exploit them. Okay, they exploited small and marginal farmers and landless laborers by lending to them on high interest rates and by manipulating the accounts to keep them in debt trap. So that's why the poor people became more poorer, and because money lenders they used to charge a very high interest rate on them. So a major change occurred after 1969 when India adopted social banking and multi-agency approach to adequately meet the needs of rural credit. Later, the National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development was set, and they gave the farmers loan at a very affordable rates. This was set up in 1982, and this was a apex body to coordinate the activities of all institutions involved in the rural financing system. The Green Revolution was a harbinger of major changes in the credit system as it led to the diversification of the portfolio of rural credit towards production oriented lending. The institutional structure of rural banking today consists of there are various multi-agency institutions like commercial banks are there, regional rural banks, cooperatives and land development banks are there. So they are expected to dispense adequate credit at cheaper rates. So even self-help group, they are helping the rural women to and they give them the credit system. Okay, so self-help group have emerged to fill the gap in the formal credit system because the formal credit delivery mechanism has not only proven inadequate but has also not been fully integrated into the overall rural social and community development. So since some kind of collateral here is required, vast proportion of poor rural household were automatically out of the credit network. So here self-help groups, they promote they give the loans in small proportion. Okay, because here there is a minimum contribution from each member. Okay, then whatever the amount they have collected, from that amount they give the loan. Okay, the credit is given to the needy members. Okay, and this can be repayable in small installment at reasonable interest rate. Then nearly 6 crore women in India have become member in 54 lakh women self-help groups. About 10 to 15,000 per self-help group and another 2.5 lakhs per self-help group as a community investment support fund are provided as a part of renovating fund to take up self-employment for income generation. So such credit provisions are generally referred to as microcredit programs, and self-help group, they have helped to empower the woman. So whatever the borrowings they take it for the consumption purpose or they take it for to set up a business or any other things. Okay, then rural banking, a critical appraisal. So now we can see there is an expansion of banking system, and this has affected in a very positive way with regard for the rural areas. Then it has also helped the farmers to avail all the services, and they are also being given the credit facilities and a variety of loans for meeting their production needs. So famines became event of the past, and now they have achieved some sort of food security, which is reflected in the abundant buffer stocks of grains. So, however, all is not well with our banking system. So, with the possible exceptions of the commercial bank, um, yeah. So, thus the so with the possible exceptions of the commercial banks, other formal institutions they have failed to develop a culture of deposit, mobilization, that lending to worthwhile borrowers, and effective loan recovery. Then agriculture loan rates have been it's been too high to so that the farmers they are failing to uh, pay the loan. So it is alleged that the farmers are deliberately refusing to pay back the loan. So banking system are again um, uh, um, banking system are again they are telling the other people that farmers they are not paying back the whatever the loan amount they have taken. So thus the expansion and promotion of the rural banking sector has taken a backseat after reforms. To improve the situation in recent year, all the adults are encouraged to open bank accounts as a part of scheme known as Jan Dhan Yojana. So all the adults they have been told to open this bank account and under this scheme, that is Jan Dhan Yojana, and those bank account holders they can get 1 to 2 lakh accidental insurance coverage and overdraft facilities for rupees 10,000, and they can even get their wages if they are if they have even if they took the scheme of Manrega, that is any government related jobs, and if they have worked under that scheme, okay, that is providing 100 days employment for the people. Then old age pension and other social security payments of the governments are transferred to bank account. So here in these cases, in these schemes, there is no need to keep minimum bank balance, okay, and this has led to more than 50 crore people opening bank accounts indirectly, and it has promoted thrift habit and efficient allocation of financial resources, particularly in this sort of rural areas. So banks also they mobilize funds of more than rupees 2 crores through these accounts. Then so this is what with regards to the rural banking and the credit system in the case of rural credit and marketing in rural areas. For the next class, we'll continue with this agriculture market system and emerging alternate market channels. Okay, then also we'll discuss more thing about diversification into productive activities. Okay, thank you for watching my video.